Welcome back to the channel. So this is a new setting. I'm going to be recording my live sessions. Want to hold myself accountable to the things that I say, and also at the same time, it's all in the quest of being the best trader that I can possibly be. And I think that one of those things is about finding accountability consistently and doing the things that you say you're going to do. So I'm going to start recording my trading sessions whenever I trade. It's not going to be every day because I don't trade every day. And I'm going to start posting on the YouTube channel and, give you guys the opportunity to watch, see how I anticipated the day. I don't know why I'm on the 5 minute though, mind. And, if you take anything from that, fantastic. If you don't, you just wanted to tune in, I'd rather you didn't do that because I think it's always important to learn. So that's going to be the thing with this series is a full collection, playlist, whatnot of my live session. So getting into this now, I just need to want to get a screen open for. Should I take any executions on Trade of 8? So we'll log into that now. And then I'll quickly go over what my game plan is for today. See if we can get into that. Let's have a look. Okay, so we want that. If there are pauses and me not speaking, I may be just thinking about something, doing something or whatnot. So let's see how it goes. Okie dokie. Okay, so in terms of game plan, I'm just going to move that for now. So in terms of game plan, obviously we've seen a few. Well, let's just venture out to the 4 hour for a second. So we've obviously got this line here referencing PDA SMT at this CIBI with NQ, as you can probably see here. Hopefully my machine can keep pace. So we know that institutional order flow is bearish from a near-term standpoint on the weekly and daily. However, we certainly can see higher prices to certain key price levels before maybe a move lower or maybe a continuation higher. But then nonetheless, that's what this line was representing, was that potential cracking correlation there. There we go. Okay, so that's what ultimately that was. Now, in terms of trade ideas, I mean, it's certainly from an hourly standpoint looking a little more favorably from here, but it's not something that ultimately I would take to see lower prices. So my game plan, if we were going to go short, was I wanted to see a purge of this old high daily here and then potentially go short. Now, doesn't necessarily mean that it won't happen, but price is going to have to do a fair bit to get up there. But also at the same time, it means that we're likely going to invalidate potentially this SIBI, which is not ideal in the sense that if we're going to see lower prices, then ultimately we want this daily SIBI to hold, because that would support the idea of lower prices. And if that was to be purged and the market to close above, then we would make the assumption that price is potentially going higher. But again, it would depend on a number of different factors as well. So currently I'm looking at the market. It's currently 8:39, so we've had the high impact news. If I drop back down to the 15-minute time frame, you'll be able to see that annotated on the chart, PPI. And I'm just trying to formulate an idea to see if there's any other model that potentially I would be open to taking. And I don't think that there are. I think where price is currently, it's we could see pretty lethargic price action today, or certainly remains within some form of range, ready for CPI tomorrow. That is possible. I'm still here. So yeah, unfortunately, these are not going to be as, sort of engaging every second. But I will try to cover a number of different things, and I'm just really just gonna speak out loud, just what I'm thinking, just hold myself accountable to stuff. So if this is your type of thing, then by all means, tune in and watch, and see how the session transpired. If it's not, then you're more than welcome to seek another channel which is more in alignment to the things that you're looking for. Okay. Okay. So again, we saw PPI run the London highs, SMT at that high there, potentially confirmed if we drop down to the 5-minute. Not confirmed yet as far as I'm concerned by way of SMT, but potentially there. But again, I'm not looking for these lower time frame moves, such like that. I'm not looking for that. So first and foremost, I want to see some form of high time frame Kraken correlation, which I haven't seen yet. Potentially at the lows, but I haven't seen anything supporting the lows. So yeah, two models that I was looking at. Essentially, it's the same model, just on either side of the market at specific key price levels. But be interesting to see if the market relative to the M15 and H1. Let's go to the H1. Whether that closes below the BPR. If it closes below the BPR, then likely to go higher. But it'll be interesting to see how this candle ultimately closes in around 15 minutes. In all honesty, there'll probably be most action post or at the equities open. Okay, so again, as mentioned, certainly on the hourly time frame, which I'm looking at just on a different screen, we've obviously got this Asia range low. It's been purged by all three members of the index futures triad and repriced higher. And then we saw the market reprice higher, purge the London high, we trade back into the range, but it's now appearing as though the market is looking to seek higher prices, but we'll just have to wait and see. In my opinion, the key to having a game plan is that you don't get sucked up into all the little nuances of the market, the little traps that it's set in to catch you out and stuff like that. You don't get sucked into any of that. You ultimately have predefined levels that you're looking for to engage under different circumstances, and when they hit, or when the trade forms after hitting those key price levels, then you engage. And if price is not there, or you haven't identified a specific plan or model, you do nothing. You sit and wait. So currently nothing to do. I will take off that level there. It's not important. Well, it is important, but it's not important for me to take to execute a trade model off that. I needed more to happen prior to that. So this is going to be a slow burner. I'm not going to make any annotations on the M15 time frame. If you see any annotations, they're likely from the hourly or above, and that's primarily because the M15 is most often than not my entry time frame, and so anything specific to the M15 or maybe even the M5 will come at a time where, you know, looking to engage the market, but if that's not the case, then there'll be nothing on from those time frames, and it'll be more so specifically from the hourly and above, predominantly more so from the H4. Certainly looks like NQ is going to purge that London high, so we would have symmetrical highs across all three, despite the fact that ES and YM have traded into their SIBI, and NQ has not yet, in terms of SIBI H4, which is the darker shaded area up here, as you can see, and on YM. So we could potentially have symmetrical price action, which would support the idea of higher prices. So real slow burner, so PPI release has occurred. We've obviously waited 15 minutes after that. Market now appears, according to the M15, to repricing higher. Just going to remain patient. So looking to see how the hourly candle closes in relation to that hourly BPR. And that's supposed to be a bearish BPR. In fact, let's just make a note of that. Okay, so the idea would be, in all honesty, bodies of the candles would not close anywhere near that, and the fact that we're sort of trading above suggests to me that we are likely to trade higher. Bear with me just 1 second. Okay, and we're back. It's currently just a slow burner with price right now. I want to look at some clues. Now, as I said, I'm not, I have specific models under specific conditions and stuff like that. So this is not going to present a trade opportunity for me. Certainly the market's going to have to do a lot more than this anyway, but it's not looking favourable. So we've still got 3 minutes till the candle closes. Okay. So the market appears as though it's pricing lower, and as I said before, we don't want to see the body of the candle close inside. that would support the idea that the market potentially wants to seek lower prices in alignment with the high time frame near-term institutional order flow. So we've got 35 seconds, and then we've got a new hourly candle which presents its own sense of volatility injection anyway, and things are like, so just because we've closed below, it doesn't necessarily mean that the the 9 o'clock candle is going to respect the BPR, but in theory it should, if we are bearish. Sorry, that's my alarm, just to remind me it's 2 o'clock. So, yeah, I mean, if you're looking at today's price action, I mean, you've only got to look at this part here to see what's happened. And now obviously we've got this candle which has taken liquidity out on both sides of the market. On ES, that is, taking out both sides of the market on ES. So I have my journal here next to me. It's where I sort of just write key things as the market. A lot of the stuff that I'm alluding to and stating over the microphone, I tend to write them in the journal as well, timestamp them. Okay. So looking at the M15 chart, like I said, there's not really much going on. Look at the M5. Hasn't been any real displacement or anything to support lower prices yet. So it really is a situation where You just have to sit tight. I think it's certainly going to be a case now. I'm just going to be waiting for equities open just to see what volatility we get and how that may potentially affect price. But for now, I'm just happy to sit on the sidelines. And if today is a no trade day, then it's a no trade day. What I take away from that is if it's a no trade day today, it's the market setting up for something far better on another day. So we just wait. So a bit of coffee. But so far, as I said, 2 game plans. Previous day's low or that daily high. Should really put on some non-copyrighted music. I may do that for the next recording. I'll run some tests, see what it sounds like, and then maybe we do that for the next one. But as you can see how, I'm just looking at these candles here, it's really nothing towards, obviously it's trading into this this BISI, this M15 BISI, but again, I'm not looking to mark that stuff up because they're not, I don't trade on like the 1 minute and stuff like that. And if you use time frame alignment, then obviously M15 and you trade on the 1 minute, then obviously M15 PD arrays are going to be of interest to you. They're not as they're not of as interest to me because I utilize them at a certain point within that sort of trade cycle. And right now we're not there in the sense that we're not executing a trade in any way, shape or form. So it's a case just to remain patient and wait. So not much happening here, and I just document this in my journal. I just say, price currently in a range. Trying to make another note. It's so important when the market conditions are like this to remain patient. Like not to have a look at on another screen. I just want to have a look at the daily. So currently nothing. As I said, there was the SMT at the lows, but I want to see a bit more than just that before committing to some form of directional change potentially, in terms of bias, that is. I can show that to you here. If we went to the weekly, see the SMT at the lows there. For me, I'd need to see more than a weekly SMT like that. I'd want to see some kind of lower time framework before doing anything of notoriety. So I'm just sitting patient. It's just really nothing to do right now. Just remaining patient. And like I said, today, in my opinion, is likely to lead to a no trade day. I can't really see where the trade is coming from because I want to see the next impulse price leg initiated by a Kraken correlation, and we haven't got that right now. So, and ultimately, I'd want to see that from specific key price levels, and we haven't got that either. So, it's looking very likely that the market's going to stay in some form of range consolidation until CPI. That's what it looks like. So just have to wait and see. So another 15 minutes to equities open. Then we'll get our next volatility injection for the day. I just want to check the economic calendar. certainly looks like Thursday is more of a preferred trading day for me, but again, we'll have to see. Just leaving it on the 15-minute time frame because it's the, as often mentioned by many people on not on social media, on YouTube and alike, and in various trading communities, it's probably the best bellwether chart. And being as it's my entry time frame as well, it kind of makes sense just to keep a chart fixated on that time frame, and typically I do anyway. Just bear with me one quick second. Okay, so hourly looks as though it wants to retrade back above the BPR, so that'd be interesting. But again, I think we just need to wait till I'm just waiting till equities open now to see what is transpiring. It's certainly appearing as though the market wants to continue higher, which to some extent would be true. So this yellow shaded area here is an inversion fair value gap, but I'm really just highlighting the fact that we have violated a premium imbalance, supporting the idea of the market trading higher. And I think if we look into this here, if we just went and did this, yeah, you see, let me just quickly go to the hourly. You'll see how the bodies of the candles, sorry, go to the hourly, go to the 4 hour. Okay, so this is the 4 hour. Basically, you see how the bodies of the candles are not closing inside. And if we were to look at NQ, it's very much the same. Bodies of the candles are not closing inside, not closing at C. So that's supporting the idea of further higher prices. Okay, so that's the likelihood of what could occur. So I'm just going to go back to the 15. So we've seen that. But again, to go long, I need to see way more than just that. So we just wait. We've got another 6 minutes or so before equities open, and that should be interesting. This is in fact, I will pop those on for now, just because it's a large civvy. So you see the CE form on the BISI below. I'm just marking these on the H4, but now you kind of see this price level down here. And that's just showing CE of the BISI. And I mean, if we're look at where YM is, certainly repricing higher. Now YM obviously didn't have a BPR, but it has certainly violated its hourly SIBI, which formed at the same area. So if we were to do this, there we go. Okay. So as you can see on YM, it's violated on the hourly time frame anyway. It's certainly appearing to violate that SIBI, and because it's doing that, it's supporting the idea of higher prices. I think a bit of coffee is needed. So, minute and 30 remaining until equities open. Be interesting to see what the market does. I'm not particularly drawn to either side of the market, if I'm honest. So just remaining patient. Make a note in my diary about price trading back above. Okay, here we go. Get some volatility in the market now. Okay, so sort of a bit of anticlimax here. Nothing really nothing really occurring yet. You can obviously see an inclination of wanting to go lower, but again, we're between two imbalances. You've got the SIBI up here and the BISI down here, both H4. So when you bear those two in mind, it's actually a case of just sitting tight and waiting. Just waiting to see whether the market wants to commit to one side. But like I said again, this is very likely to result in a no trade day because the market is so far away from any of my key price levels that it's unlikely to yield anything. Now, just bear with me 1 second. Okay, and we're back. So with where price is, I can't see anything forming in terms of what I would look for a model to engage the market currently. So despite it just being a few minutes past equities open, I'm going to cut this recording here. I'm going to cut this recording here. I will be keeping an eye on the markets, and should something, potentially heading into the New York PM session, should something sort of form or look of interest, then I will hit the record button and record that session to post a bit later on. But for the time being, in terms of the market currently, there is nothing right now that I would be even remotely interested in by way of a trade idea. So I'm going to leave this one here, and if nothing transpires, then I won't hit the record button for the remainder of the day. But if something does, then I'll be back a bit later on with more chart analysis and hopefully able to engage the market. If I don't, unlikely I'm going to post anything tomorrow, CPI, but just got a couple of things during the day that I need to take care of, so that's going to prevent that from happening. But I certainly will be recording the full session uninterrupted, most likely on Thursday. So with that being said, I'm going to leave this one here, and guys, I'll catch you in the next one.